Hi there, and welcome to the Modern Musician's Survival Guide podcast. A podcast about building sustainable, relevant, resilient careers without burning out or feeling lost. I'm your host, Ghenadie, a musician myself, and on this podcast we will discuss topics such as career strategy, mindset, networking, money and finances, audience building, and everything that's relevant to a modern-day musician's career. On this podcast, you will find two types of episodes. The first type, a shorter episode with practical tools and tips that you can immediately implement in your career. And the second type, long-form conversations with musicians and music professionals from the industry. So if it's something that you're into, make sure to subscribe to the podcast and hit the notification bell so that you get informed when the new episodes come out. Now, without further ado, let's jump into today's episode. Today we're talking about New Year's resolutions, and I want to share with you the framework that I'm using for 3 years now about writing and planning my year. And it has 5 steps. And the first step is actually based on a podcast created by Rob Dial, and it's called the Mindset Mentor podcast. I will link that episode in the description of this episode. And basically, the first step is to write down what your goals are for the next year. And for that, he has the different areas to think about. The goal is not to think what is realistic or what is doable. The goal is to just dump all of the goals that you want to achieve. Nothing is impossible, just write whatever comes to your mind. And we will do this right now. Take a notebook and a pen or a pencil, and we will go through these different categories together. You can pause me and think about the different goals that you want to write down. The goal is to have around 60 to 80 goals. So really don't think too much about it. Just write it on paper. And I adopted his categories for musicians. So the first category is career. What do you want your career to look like in 2026? Be as precise as possible. How many concerts do you want to do? Or what projects would you like to do? Maybe you would like to play more solo concerts. Maybe you would like to play more chamber music. Or maybe you would like to start conducting an orchestra. Maybe you want to teach more. Maybe you want to have more students. Or maybe you want to start a TikTok account or an Instagram page and you want to achieve a certain number of followers. Write everything down. Maybe you want to record music. Maybe you want to start a new YouTube channel. Maybe you want to make videos. Write everything down. The important part is don't just write, I want to play more concerts. Put a number to it. Because if you play one more concert than 2025, you've achieved your goal, basically. And if it's, say, 5 or 6, then maybe it's not really the goal that you want. Or if it is, sure, write it down. Right, so the second category is financial goals. What do you want your income to look like? Put a number to it. Don't think too much, too little, just write, doable, not doable. Just put the number there. You can also be even more specific. How much do you want to earn from your teaching? How much do you want to earn from freelancing? How much do you want to earn from concerts? Maybe you want to start an emergency fund if you haven't yet. Maybe you want to start investing. Write everything down with exact numbers. Right, so the next category is relationships. Think about your relationships. How do you want them to look like? What do you want them to look like in 2026? Maybe you want to deepen your collaboration and friendship with a certain musician. Or maybe you would like to connect more with your audience. Or maybe if you're like me, you would like to visit your family more often. wherever they may live? Would you like to start building maybe a professional relationship with an orchestra, with a conductor, with a concert series, with a venue, with an association, with a choir, with a music school, with a conservatory? Write all of those relationships down. Okay, so the next category is health. What do you want your health to look like in 2026? Do you want to feel more energized? Maybe you would like to sleep more. Maybe you would like to have one fixed day off per week. Maybe you would like to eat better. Or maybe you would like to start taking more care of your body and doing some fitness or yoga or going to a gym. Think about what do you want your health to look like in the next year, and write everything down. Great. So the next category is materialistic. What does this mean? Maybe it's one of the most fun categories. What do you want to buy? Think about, maybe you want to upgrade your recording gear, like me. Or maybe you want to buy a new instrument. Or maybe you want to buy a smaller instrument. Or maybe you want to buy an iPad to upgrade to playing from a tablet. Write everything down. Maybe you want to buy that score of a piece that you really wanted to play. Or maybe you want to buy some new gear for your content creation. Just write everything down. So the next category is personal development. Write down, maybe there's a certain number of books that you would like to read on a certain topic. Maybe there are some yearly courses that you really want to take, and 2026 is the year to do that. Or maybe you want to have a mentor or a coach in order for you to develop your career. Maybe there are certain master classes or certain academies that you would like to go to and to have lessons. Or maybe you want to enroll into a mentorship program. Or maybe you want to go to a retreat. Write all of those things down for yourself. So the next category is spirituality, which doesn't have anything to do with religion. It could do, but it doesn't need to do that. So what do you want your spirituality to look like? Maybe you would like to start meditating more, or maybe you would like to start meditating. Maybe you would like to take yoga classes and to explore more about yourself and about your body and deepen spiritual aspects of what you believe in. Or maybe you would like to learn more about your religion or about certain religions. What aspects of your spirituality would you like to deepen? Write that down. The next category is character. And character has more to do with traits that you would like to develop. Try to think of it that way. What would I like other people to say about me? And write all of those traits down. Maybe you want to be more supportive. Maybe you want to be more kind. Maybe you want to be more present for your friends and for your colleagues. Or maybe you want to be the person that connects others together into a community. Think about that and write down those traits. And the last category is also fun, experiential. What would you like to experience next year? Would you like to travel to a certain place? Would you like to maybe start a podcast? Or maybe would you like to write a book? Maybe you would like to publish something. Or maybe you would like to go to a certain concert. One of my big goals was, for example, this year in 2025, to hear Marta Argerich live, and in November I managed to do that. So what would you like to experience? Write all of those things down. Great. So if you did that, now you should have around 60 to 80 goals. And my next step is I look at those goals and see which of them are measurable, which of them are projects, and which of them are habits. So basically I break down the goals. And what I do is I break them down in monthly goals, weekly goals, and daily goals. So let's say that one of my goals is to record 24 episodes of this podcast, as an example. If I think about 24, it seems quite a lot. But if you look at it on a monthly basis, 24 episodes basically means 2 episodes per month. Okay, already more doable. If I break it down into weeks, basically this means I need to record 1 episode every 2 weeks. So how I would break down this goal would be 1 week I would either do research and connect with the guest, and the second week I would record and edit and then schedule the episode to come out. On a daily basis, then I would read books or articles and annotate ideas I would like to talk about. Or let's take a financial goal. For example, you want to save 600 euros for a course that you want to do in 1 year time. So 600 might seem like a big number, but if we break it down, it's basically 50 euros per month. And 50 euros per month is 25 euros per week. If you want to break it down even more, that would be a bit more than 3 euros per day. So basically a cappuccino. So going from the big goals, breaking them down into small actionable goals is the second step. And the third step is make it visible. Basically what I would do is I would take sheets of paper, and on one sheet I would write monthly goals, and on the other sheet I would write weekly goals. And normally in my planner, in my weekly planner, at the beginning I would write my daily goals, that whenever I would open it, I would have it in front of myself. Why do I do that extra step? Because normally when we write down our resolutions, that's great, we feel great about them, but then life happens in 3 to 4 weeks after New Year's, and we forget about our goals. This way, I have my goals in front of myself, and I can track these goals on a monthly basis and also on a weekly basis. Also on a daily basis if you want to review at the end of the day if you did the things that you were supposed to do. And one more thing I do is I choose one of the, say, more important things in my daily goals that in case everything else went wrong in my day, that one thing makes it so that the day was won. So that's just a small tip. And then what do you do with these sheets of paper? Of course, you don't stack them somewhere. I put them on a board in front of my fridge. So basically, I have them in front of me every single day, and I can look at them and see and keep myself accountable, basically, that I'm doing what I've set myself up to do. Now I'm also experimenting with Notion AI and their goals tracker, and that basically I need when I'm away from home and I don't have sheets of paper with me. So yeah, the next natural step is tracking it. And when you track it, if you have it in front of you, you can, at the end of the week, review what you have done. Or normally what I would do is on Sunday, I would look at my upcoming week. I would plan my week ahead and see what are those things that I need to be doing, and I schedule it into my week. I'm not perfect. It doesn't always work, but I keep it as a habit. And what you will find is you will do much more, maybe not everything, but you will do much more that way rather than not tracking that. And the goal is not to achieve every single goal, but if you have half of those 60 to 80 goals done by the end of the year, you will ultimately move into the direction that you want to move. And the last step is I set on my calendar review rhythms. So instead of waking up around November, December and saying, oh my God, I have all of those goals that I've set and I haven't done even like 10 of them, I would plan on my Google Calendar with reminders every end of the month to look at my monthly goals. So let's say last Sunday of each month. And I would also schedule quarterly reviews of my goals, which basically means 1st of March, 1st of June, 1st of September, and 1st of December. So that I keep track and look at everything that I have done and everything that I still want to do, and I try to plan it that way. It doesn't have to be an obsession, trying to optimize everything, but keeping track of the things that matter will bring you most definitely towards achieving your goals for the upcoming year. So yeah, this is my system that I'm implementing and that I'm doing every single year. So comment below and let us know what some of your goals are for 2026 and what are you excited about. Thanks for listening to this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, and comment this episode. Subscribe to the podcast and send in questions or topics that you would like to hear about on the next episode. Thank you for your attention and see you in the next episode.